For any holiday or event that takes multiple people out of the office on the same schedule, like a convention, the Mass Entries feature in TimeClick is your tool. Instead of entering an action and modify times for the same event for each of multiple employees, you can enter them all at once with the Mass Entry function. This video will just cover instructions for the TimeClick 2018 version, so if you're still using the older versions of TimeClick, we have a blog post with those instructions in our support center on our website, TimeClick.com. To enter a mass entry, open TimeClick and enter admin mode. Navigate to Modify Times. Along the top of the window, you'll see the Mass Entries tab. Two very important things to note are the date for which the action will be added and which employees to include in the entry. If you're entering a mass entry for a holiday like New Year's, make sure you change it here. If the entry is only applied to certain employees, be sure to use this drop-down to select the correct employees. One reason this is very important is that the Add Time button is hot. Once you click it, the entry will immediately add it to all the employees you've selected for the day you've selected, so don't click it until you're sure all the info you entered is correct. If you forget to change the date or limit the list of employees, but you've added the time, you're going to need to go back to the Modify Times to remove the mass entry from each person to correct it because, as of version 18.2.0.1, the most recent version as of the beginning of July 2018, there is no mass undo option for the mass entries. With that said, I'll touch on the two options for the mass entries. First, marked by default, is the Choose Other Action section. Here you can choose whether the mass entry was a holiday, vacation, or some other time, and enter the total amount of time taken. This time will show up on the reports as paid holiday time or vacation, whatever you entered in. The other option is adding a mass clock action. This would be more applicable if you had a trade show, a meeting, training, or something similar that a group of employees attend. Select the bubble to choose a clock action and enter a clock in with the time. If you have a particular department and/or job, enter those details as well. Please note, selecting a department here, but not changing it in the list of employees to the right, will still add that mass clock in to all employees. Be sure to change the employee list to reflect the correct list of employees. A nifty help in adding the mass clock in is the Include Clock Out option here. Adjust the time for the clock out and add a comment if needed. If you do need to clear your work and start over, you can utilize this Clear button in the lower right corner to reset the window. Once you have added the details for the mass entry, click the Add Time button. This will immediately add the mass entry to the employees on the date specified. With the mass entry added, you'll see it on your reports, and that's it. You can now quickly and easily add times for holidays or mass clock actions.